Hey, welcome to Exploring San Diego. I'm Kalina Estrinos, and today we are at a popular hiking trail. You can see the running trail behind me. People come here to hike and bike and run, and this is in the heart of Kit Carson Park with a hidden gem that we're exploring today in Escondido. So when you take this hiking trail, when you take this run, you'll come up and see this gate here, and you might think to yourself, what might this be? Well, we're exploring Queen Califia's magical circle. This is a piece of art. This was a huge art project that was given to the city of Escondido as a gift. So once you walk through this area, you can see some of the entire project, I should say, which is just beautiful. This is something that we've been exploring today, and we wanted to show you in case you wanted to come and visit for yourself. So this was put together by Nikki de St. Fall. She unfortunately passed away before this entire project was completed, but Don Anderson here had the honor of working with her during this project, met her, spoke to her, and saw this whole thing come together. So I know you have some photos. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us a little bit more about her, what she's known for, and how this whole thing came about.
Okay, I'd be happy to. Thank you for being here and highlighting this amazing place. This is a magical place, and I know if Nikki were here today, she'd be so pleased that you're here and that the public is being able to see it firsthand. I first met Nikki in 1998. I was asked to attend a meeting with our city manager, Rolf Gunnarsson. He told me, Don, can you come to my office? I'm meeting with an artist. I had no idea who she was. I went to his office. We listened to her presentation, listened to what she had planned to do, a gift to us. I went home that evening and I called my son, who was an art history minor at UCSD, and said, Troy, have you ever heard of Nikki de St. Fall? And that's when I became aware of who she was, who she is at the time, who she was, that she was the most prominent, one of the top 3 prominent artists of the last century. That gift that she gave to us was solely a gift. There were no strings attached. The city spent about $500,000 on site preparation and landscaping, but everything you see here was from Nikki's foundation and herself. She designed this. She didn't do the actual hands-on work. She had artisans that she brings in from her team that put this all together. Where you're looking now at the maze wall, this is the first part of the entrance into the magical garden. She did this to encourage young people. This became a magical place for young people, and her emphasis was on creating a space for young people. And as you can tell, this makes it very fun to come in.
We were talking about that when we first got here, how this kind of reminds us of a fun house. You know, I walked in here twice and I got lost. I went there and then I went straight, and then I really had to figure out, okay, how do I get to the courtyard? So she really put a lot of thought into this for the children of the area, not only in that aspect, but also the fact that this is right off of a major street, but really, really tucked away at the same time, where you really have to go out of the way to try to find it. And that was her intention.
Yes, in fact, I had asked her originally, I had shown her a site on Bear Valley, which was available. And she explained to me that she wanted this to be an adventure. She wanted you, your audience, anyone that wants to come here, to have to do some research and have to go through an adventure to reach this place. If you look behind us, the hillside behind us is where she originally had planned to put the piece, but there were environmental issues that were going to create a time problem for us. So when we were here one day, she just looked at the site and said, what about this piece? And this is a part of what's called the Iris Sankey Arboretum. So the city dedicated this space for Nikki and her team to go ahead and build this project, but it is an adventure. People, it's not a complaint because it's exactly what Nikki wanted to hear. I'll talk to people and they say, where is it? We're in the park now. How do we find it? Well, you know, you do a little research and you'll find it.
So let's go over to where our Steve Royce, our wonderful camera guy today, is, because I want to show the stone. We talked about the natural, colorful stone here, and this is on the entire snake wall that surrounds this garden. So tell me, I mean, I don't even know if you would know how many stones are on this thing, but where did they come from? Why the stone? And talk about the history of this place, because I know she wanted to stay true to California's history, Native American culture, Mexican culture. So you can really see that incorporated here.
Right. When she moved to La Jolla in 1994, she immediately took a liking to the region. And because her vision was she wanted to gift a major piece to the area. And this is the only major piece outside of Europe. There are pieces in private collections. So her vision was to do something that represented California's history. And as you said, the totems representing the early Indian influence, the eagle, which is a part of many cultures, the American culture, the Indian culture, the Hispanic culture. She did all of these things to tie them in to represent California. And of course, the centerpiece is the queen, which sits on top of the five-legged eagle, under which is the large egg, which represents new life and new birth. But the piece on the top is Queen Califia, who was a mythical goddess who oversaw the region of the Amazon. And hence from that queen, that mythical queen, the name California came from. So Nikki was able to incorporate all of those things into this project. So young people who come here, there's a real history lesson here. It's not just that they can see beauty, but it's a history lesson. You mentioned the undulating snake wall. It's a 400-foot long wall that was brought in 12-foot sections.
Wow.
And it was put together almost like a Lego. It has a steel substructure covered by a polystyrene, a polyurethane, and then her artisans, while the pieces were here, actually did all the mosaic work here, and then they actually connected each of these together to create the surrounding undulating wall. So it's a very magical piece in so many ways. And if you'll notice in your audience when they're here, everything is to be touched and felt, and that's what Nikki wanted. She wanted you to experience the feel of these precious, semi-precious stones that were selected by her personally, and her people would do the research to find out where these stones were. Most of the stones are native to California, but she wanted children particularly to come out and experience the feel of the stone. In the morning hours when it's cool, the stones are very cold, and you can stay throughout the day and see the changing temperature within the rocks. But that was all part of the experience Nikki wanted to provide the community. And Escondido happened to be the site in which it was dedicated and brought to. But during my 40 years with the city as Director of Parks and Recreation, it was always my feeling that we were just the docents of this. This is really for the world. We're just fortunate enough that it happened to be in our community.
How long did this project take from start to finish?
I think our first meeting with her was in 1998. Of course, there's logistics involved, contracts and attorneys and things that we had to work out. And we dedicated the project in October of 2003. So from beginning to end, it was about 4 years. Construction, I'm guessing it was 2.5 to 3 years.
And from 2003 to now, I remember talking to people around the area saying they didn't even know it was here. They still were in disbelief that this had been here this entire time.
Yes, and I, as a docent, I'm along with a group of us that volunteer our time. That's the only reason this is open, is because of volunteers like myself and the many others who are dedicated, because we want the world and the community to see it. But the times that I'm here, I'm always surprised when I hear someone say, we didn't know it was here. But I'm also surprised to find people coming here as a destination, people from all over the world, Australia, Europe, Japan, China. I can't tell you how many times that we're here and people come here and I say, how did you know about us? Well, we've been following Nikki's work for years and years and years. And when we decided to come to San Diego on vacation, we did our research and we found out that one of her major pieces was in Escondido, so we came here. So as far as tourism, it's a wonderful attraction to people.
So one last question for you, since you were part of this project and you met the artist. What was your favorite part about this whole thing, and what's your favorite part kind of being here and looking at it all?
Well, my favorite part obviously was meeting Nikki. She was incredible. The second important part for me is the fact that it's here, the beauty of this. And again, I've been retired 12 years, but I still am passionate about this project. That's why I give my time as a volunteer to be here. And I just hope through efforts of Channel 10 and yourself that we'll encourage others and educate others about its presence and that we can bring others here. So when I come out here and I see families here, I mean, that's incredible to me.
We should note when this is actually open. So can you go into that and let everyone know when they can come see this and the best way to maneuver themselves to this location?
Okay. Kit Carson Park is located just north of the Westfield Shopping Center, which is off of the Villa Rancho exit on I-15. It's in a 300-acre park called Kit Carson Park. Watch for the signs and pay attention. As I said, Nikki didn't put it on the main road. You'll have to pay attention and seek this project out. There is a slight walk from the parking area. It's about 100 yards on a dirt road. If you or a group has any disabilities, contact the city and they'll allow transportation up to the project. But we're open again through the efforts of docents every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 until noon, the second and fourth Saturdays of every month from 9 until 2 p.m. They're hoping to expand, and if I can just for a second put a plug in, if any of your audience is interested in being a docent, there's a short training period that they go through, but through their efforts, my goal would be that this would be open every day of the week for the community. Because, for example, the day before yesterday, I was a docent. We had 170 people in a 3-hour period visit this location. So
that's good. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time. We're going to switch gears right now, sort of, and talk to Catherine with Visit Escondido because there are more places to explore within Escondido. And if you want to see live reptiles, we have a place in Escondido where you can do that.
We do. It's called Ecovivarium, and it is amazing little, we call it the Living Museum. It's down in the historic center of downtown Escondido off of Grand Avenue on Juniper. And they have, I don't know at last count, over 68 reptiles and all types of animals in there. They're all rescues. They do amazing work taking care of these animals, and then they showcase them to the public and to schools. They do private parties. They're open to the public on a regular basis. So it's really cool to go down there and check them out.
And there are so many places to visit Escondido. I feel like, a lot of people come to San Diego, they might just go to downtown or different areas, but North County really does have a lot to offer. Restaurants, history. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. I mean, Escondido is, the thing that I love about it so much is the diversity of what you can find here. So our culinary scene, not only in the downtown historic district, which has over 20 amazing restaurants. I mean, you can find French or Salvadorian. There's obviously amazing Mexican food down there. There's eclectic California cuisine, Italian, just kind of pretty much anything. So we even have Southern Cajun now. A sushi place is coming in soon. So in about 3-4 months, we're going to have sushi. So that's awesome. So just the eclectic diversity of everything, and then all of the things that you can do. If you want to do outdoor activities, we've got Daily Ranch. This park, Kit Carson Park, has amazing hiking trails for any level of hiking that you want to do. There are all kinds of really great events. There's a really cool event coming up on July 13th called Inspire. And that's another thing that's really neat about this area is the community collaboration. So the Inspire event is done through Art Hatch, which is the nonprofit arm of our Distinction Gallery, which is also located in downtown. They're a world-renowned gallery. They rep for a lot of amazing artists, but they also do a nonprofit side for Art Hatch, where they give studio space and artistic resources to at-risk youth. So the Inspire event will be in art and wine and craft brews, which now extends out to things like craft coffee and kombucha and all that, in addition to great beer. So that event's coming up on July 13th, and we would love to fill that and have it. It's in one of the little parks in downtown Escondido.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I believe you do have a flyer that we could show for the event as well. And we do have a lot of this information posted on our Exploring San Diego tab. So if you go to 10news.com and you click on Exploring San Diego, we have information on this. We have information on other things you can explore throughout the area as well.
These maps are all on my website, visitescondido.com.
And we have a link to Visit Escondido
And we have
on Exploring San Diego as
20
well.
wineries now.
20 wineries. This is a reason to come to Escondido. I love that so much. Just come visit the arts, visit the culture, be a part of it. Thank you so much.
I want to add
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing to what Dawn was saying. So we're doing a special day open for Queen Califia. So to add activities to your 4th of July weekend, the project here is going to be open from 9 a.m. to noon on July 6th, Saturday, July 6th. So we're really excited about that, a little extra day.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Of course. So again, this is Exploring San Diego. We're going to be exploring different places for you throughout San Diego County. So be sure to tune in right here on 10 News. I'm Kalina Estrinos. We'll see you next time.